Well done, Dallas. This is going to be different from most of the videos I've made on this channel. I just got a few things to say about this game. For those of you that don't know, I am a Cowboys fan, so I'm going to just be talking about this game. I promise I'm not as salty as some of the other Cowboys fans out there, so at least stick around to hear what I have to say, because I think most of this is already known at this point based off this year, last year, the year before, everything we've seen with this team in the playoffs. It's just been, oh my goodness. Really, every single thing that we've seen over the past few years as a Cowboys fan in the playoffs was captured perfectly in this absolute disaster performance from Dallas. Now, first of all, this is not going to be unbiased. I am a Cowboys fan, so I'm going to be speaking from the perspective of a Cowboys fan, but I do have a few things to say that are just unbiased. First of all, Green Bay did an outstanding job today. I will say I don't expect them to have much of a chance against San Francisco next week, but they did incredible. Clearly, the Packers were ready to play, and the Cowboys were not. I feel like the product of this game, what really showed to me was that the Cowboys were looking ahead. I think that's the biggest takeaway I have from this. If you really prepare for a team like Green Bay, as the Cowboys, as talented as you are, I think there's no shot you could lose. But all the media, everything, talking about the Cowboys, this being their year, I mean, the past few years, I believe that the Cowboys had a chance, but it's never been greater than this year. I mean, this team has so many star players, so many good players. As you can see, the game's not even over yet. It's the fourth quarter, and it's a complete blowout. And, I mean, this is just insane. First of all, I've already talked about how this happens every year. We got outcoached. We got outplayed. I don't know if we've ever seen a team be favored by 2 scores, get absolutely destroyed in the playoffs. Of course, we saw the Texans demolish the Browns, but, I mean, the Browns, first of all, shouldn't have even been in the playoffs, if you really think about it, and that game could have went either way. The Texans simply made more plays and won. This game, the score right now really represents what has happened. I feel like that Texans game and the Texans-Browns game, through the first 2.5 quarters, it was close at least. The highest deficit that the Browns had was like 10 points, and then Joe Flacco had a couple really, really bad plays. This game, I think, is completely different. I think the amount of bad plays the Cowboys had on both sides of the ball from the very start of this game is absolutely incredible. And oh my God, you can't be... Yo, did y'all just see? They scored again. Looks like Jordan Love threw a touchdown pass to Romeo Doubs. At least it wasn't Aaron Jones. 4 touchdowns would have been insane. But either way, speaking of Aaron Jones, I don't even remember what I was talking about just now. This run defense is absolutely horrible. Knowing what's coming the next play, when you're down by 2+ scores, you should know what's going to happen the next play. It's going to be a run. Just not being able to stop that, to me, is absolutely insane. And there's just so many more things I want to say. The next thing, first of all, I think Dan Quinn is one of the most overrated coordinators in the league. I don't know how you allow 48 points 41, I guess, because one of the plays was a pick 6 from Dak, which I'll talk about Dak later. But, I mean, I don't understand. I don't think that's obviously not acceptable. That's insane, though. But, I mean, what more can I say? I was going to talk about Dak. I mean, I don't understand how a guy can be so good in the regular season. Really the best quarterback season from the Cowboys we've seen since... I mean, I don't think Tony Romo even had a season this good, really, since Troy Aikman. I mean, Troy Aikman wasn't even a statistical beast out there. This might be one of the best quarterback seasons we've seen in the regular season from a Cowboys quarterback. To just choke it all away in the playoffs is insane to me. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody do this more times than the Cowboys. This, to me, is absolutely insane. I mean, at this point... Jerry Jones just needs to sell this team, bro. What the heck? Nah, but, I mean, hire Bill Belichick. That's all I can say, man. I didn't even think Mike McCarthy was the problem for most of the year. I feel like of all of their losses, the only games where they were really out-coached and completely outplayed were against the Bills and 49ers. But, I mean, I guess you can't really make excuses for those games either, but this game, what have I not said yet? I would take a look at some of the plays and actually talk about them, but the game's not even over yet, as you can see. So there's really not much to talk about. But I'm sure most of you were watching the game. The play I saw just before I came here to do this recording was a bootleg where nobody followed the tight end. I don't even know. Was it Luke Musgrave? I think it was. Wide open all by himself. I don't know how that happens in a playoff game. Not just one time. Things like that happened many times over the course of this game. And I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, this is just unacceptable. Originally, I was rooting for the Rams to go out and beat the Lions tonight so that the Rams would have to play the Niners and maybe potentially beat the Niners while we would maybe not be able to see the Niners. But now, with us losing, I don't even care anymore at this point. I mean, either way, I'm just going to try and enjoy the game after this. Enjoy the rest of the playoffs as I've had to do as a Cowboys fan over the past few years. I mean, at this point, I would be mad. I would be a lot more salty, but we've seen this so many times. I kind of had a bad feeling about this game going into it anyway. So what more can we really do? As Cowboys fans, I mean, what can we expect? I don't know. I guess we got to root for the Texans now. What else do we have going for us? It was nice to see the Rangers win a World Series and the Longhorns make it all the way to the college football playoff, but not the Cowboys. Nope, not Dallas. Once again, every single person involved with this team can be blamed for this. Mike McCarthy easily, Dan Quinn, every coordinator, every coach on this team for sure. The whole defense, Deron Bland, I thought he was a superstar after the first half of the season. I was completely wrong. I mean, Micah Parsons wasn't really getting to the quarterback that much. He was trying his best out there. You can't really blame him. CeeDee Lamb, he had an alright game to his standards. It was really not that good. But another year where we lose in the playoffs. What can I really say? Oh yeah, and as for Dak, I don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback be this good in the regular season and then just completely choke in the playoffs. The last time I could even remember seeing this was like maybe Lamar Jackson in his MVP year. We're going to have to see what he does this year in the playoffs because I don't know. Because right now Dak is really the only example of a guy that just chokes it all away in the playoffs. Like, people say that about Aaron Rodgers, maybe even Drew Brees. I've heard people say that about them, but they won Super Bowls, okay? One Super Bowl, it might not seem like a lot for people that talented, but that's a big deal, okay? But this video's gotten so repetitive and so much longer than I expected. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. Just for reference, this is me 2 years ago after the Cowboys lost to the 49ers in the wild card round. And just listen. What's up, everybody? We are back, and this is just a quick video of my reaction to the 49ers beating the Dallas Cowboys. You can hear just from that intro how disappointed I was. And this doesn't mean that I'm not a Cowboys fan anymore or that I've lost interest in the team or something. I'm still a huge Cowboys fan, but it's just expecting this year after year. I mean, at this point, you can't really be disappointed when you expect to see things like this every year. You just can't. I mean, I will say I did get my hopes up. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't get my hopes up to start the year, but I mean, even to start the playoffs, I was really excited. Once again, I had the Cowboys beating the Packers in my prediction video I made just a few days ago. But even then, I wasn't very confident in the Cowboys. I had us losing to the Lions in the playoffs, which, as a Cowboys fan, might seem weird for a Cowboys fan to predict that after we beat them earlier in the year. But I did have them beating the Packers. I was clearly wrong, but just to be fair, I didn't have that much expectations on them just because of what they've shown me in the past. Just one more thing to throw out there. We are also the first team to lose to a 7 seed, if that means anything nowadays. They only implemented that like 2 years ago, so I mean that statistic doesn't really mean anything, but I've heard people throwing that statistic around, so that's something to bring up, I guess. But okay, at this point, this video has dragged on for way too long, so I'll see you all in the next one. As a Cowboys fan, I'm still disappointed, but what can you really expect?